Here's the funniest part of all about Christianity. Christians will swear that they care about Jewish people, but they're completely unaware of the fact that being a Christian means that you are in an inherently adversarial dynamic with Jewish people. You are a Gentile claiming to worship the Jewish Messiah, who you also call the Jewish God, who you also have determined is apparently the God of the entire planet now. Jewish people would never worship the Messiah. The Messiah wasn't supposed to be a god, because Yahweh would never come down as a human. That is so antithetical to the entire script. But you can't understand that if you're a Christian, because you are in an adversarial relationship with Jewish people inherently. Not just because of the history, but because of the entire belief system that you claim to value and hold. The Messiah, all the way up until the time of Jesus, was prophesied to be a hero who delivers the Jews out of the grips of colonial control of Rome and all these successive empires that ruled over the Levant at the time. For 400 or 500 years, the Levant was ruled by external empires, various groups, changing hands in the land of the Levant, because you had Egypt, the Greeks, the Romans, the Assyrians, the Babylonians, the Persians, the fucking Hittites. Through time, you had so many vying empires trying to control that piece of land that the Jews were just like, gosh, we need somebody to help us from these people. And you know what that somebody was? Definitely not Yahweh coming down as a fucking human being, you stupid Gentile. Nowhere in the Bible does it even say anything about Jesus being the Jewish God. That's a Christian thing they made up well after Jesus was dead and alive and dead. If you weren't so emotionally attached to the narrative you've already held on to, you would probably actually be able to look at this with an open eye. But because you have the emotional attachment and the fear that's been taught to you through your indoctrination from the people that you go to church with every weekend, you would actually be able to look at this objectively. But because you got this fear that there's an afterlife that you're waiting for, because some living man told you that there's an afterlife, despite him clearly being alive and never seeing it, you have to cling on to this bastardization of a small ethno-religion. And the worst part is, Christians co-opting Judaism literally fits into Jewish prophecy and tradition. Like, their whole thing is they were kicked out of the Garden of Eden to suffer a life of strife amongst the Gentiles. That's why Cain's wife is a Gentile and wasn't in the garden. Gentiles were already here. It says so in Genesis. Adam and Eve is not a human origin story. It's a Jewish origin story. And now I'm sure if you're a Gentile and you're super desperate to be a Jew, there's ways to do that. But you're going to have to give up pork. You're going to have to give up so much shit. You're going to have to literally, you better take the day off on Friday night through Saturday. And also, if you're really trying to be a Jew, you got to just let go of that whole notion of an afterlife, because Jews don't believe in an afterlife. That's a fucking Hellenization relic. That comes way after even Israel was destroyed by the Assyrians. And I'll tell you right now, I have more of a devotion to Jesus than any Christian. Like, I actually appreciate Jesus for what he was. Christians just make it up. I mean, the whole thing is probably made up, but they just keep making it up as they go. Like, it seems like every 100 years is a new fucking idea of what Jesus was about. I mean, shit. This is why they don't teach you history, and then why they keep Americans dumb, is so they don't think about this shit. And because most Americans are just uncurious fucking neurotypicals, they don't even get curious. They don't even look at the book. They go to church, get read the Bible to them, and then just tell everybody they read the Bible when they never even opened the fucking book. Like, if Christians read the Bible, there would be no Christians left. Which is why the pastors will always tell their parish or whatever the fuck, their people, that they have to only read the Bible through spiritual guidance, and that secular people reading the Bible just can't understand it quite right, or they're going to read it with the wrong heart, or something like that. Some made up bullshit where it's all about getting the right interpretation that they think is correct, as they predetermined. Fuck your spiritualism and what they say you're supposed to do with reading the Bible and praying. No, just don't even bother with that. I'll tell you what it says. Just like the Middle Ages and prior to the printing press. So yes, I am shameless when I say that I'm a better Christian as an atheist than any Christian. And especially those ones that would hear that statement and feel some kind of way about it. Do Christian cannibals only get their prayers answered after they digest their God? Because I never understood that. Why are you eating and drinking your God? How does that prayer thing work? You have to digest your God, shit him out the next day, and then the prayers get answered or something? You eat the flesh and the blood, drink the blood of your God. How are you not a cannibal? That's a bit more concerning to me than your concern trolling over abortion. I don't give a fuck about that. You are eating people, you think. You're saying you're eating a Jewish man and you call him God. That's a bit more concerning.